a riddle for you. What does every Southern family have in their refrigerator at all times? You give up? Sweet tea and mayonnaise. No mayonnaise? At least real butter. Welcome to Heritage Ways. Welcome to Project 54. This is where we are cooking together all summer. And I am Miss Katie, and I'm the one cooking with you, this growing, wonderful community of like-minded people. We are talking about how to make true to life, real live, Southern sweet tea. But we're going to talk about a couple of variations, actually more than a couple of variations. And also sun tea. So come on into my Heritage House kitchen and let's get started because it is hot in here today. I've got the fan going. The birds are singing outside my window and the breeze feels good, but we need us some tea. So I'm going to put my hair up and we're going to make some tea. Heritage Ways, and this is where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. I am from the South. We now live in mid-Ohio, and I say this because there are so many new folks who've joined the community lately, and they don't know that. So we're from southern Middle Tennessee, where we lived for about 52 years of our lives before we full-time RV'd for 2.5 years to travel around and meet our social media friends, our friends and family and subscribers, and it was a wonderful time, and then the Lord settled us here in mid-Ohio. So that's the short version of why I talk funny up here in Ohio. I have so many people say, why do you talk funny? Where are you from? Sweet tea is always in the refrigerators of, I will say, most Southern homes. And if not, it's at least in all the Southern restaurants. It's at dinners on the ground. It's, you know, the list goes on. We're going to talk about several variations. So this just isn't a quickie sweet tea how-to. We're going to talk about different things. First of all, let's talk about the tea itself. I'm not endorsing any particular brand of tea. Nobody is sponsoring me and I'm not an affiliate. But I recommend a good quality tea. This Louisiana comes from Louisiana, New Orleans. And it is a good quality black tea. Whatever you deem good quality black tea, do that. We have gotten generic before. I'm all about getting generic stuff, but generic does not fit the bill for a Southern glass of tea. So just get what you think is a good quality black tea. Now, I pulled these up from the larder. I actually got these at the markdown, Amish markdowns. This was $1.50, which is a really good price because decaf tea, good quality, is not $1.50 at the store. This came from the store, I think. But anyway, I pulled these out to show you that we often use half decaf and half caffeinated. That started when I was pregnant like 10 years ago. The first thing we're going to make is some sun tea. Now, it is 2:30 in the afternoon, and I should have gotten it out earlier, but I wasn't ready to show y'all, so I didn't put it out yet. But I'm telling you, it will still make. My father-in-law, my late father-in-law, we called him Pop, and he called it sometimes moon tea because it would work. It works overnight too if you set it out. So we are going to go ahead and put some some sun tea outside. So let me show you how we do that. 1 gallon glass jar, and I'm going to get 4 family size tea bags. That's what we buy, family size. It's just easier. So if you don't use 4, then you need to use 8 of the smaller ones. And I don't think we have any decaf in this particular container, so that's okay. It's no big deal. Now, a couple different things you can do. You can just rip these tags off or cut them off and drop it all down in there. Or maybe you can even tie a knot like that, drop them in there. Or you can just leave the bags hanging out like that. I mean, any of the above. 2 things on the sweetening. Number 1, you can just have this not sweetened. Okay? Number 2, You could, if you wanted to, go ahead and put your sugar in here now and let the heat of the sun, warm up the water and dissolve the sugar. Or what we usually do when we bring it in the evenings or afternoons or whenever you bring it in, not at night in the morning, but the water is going to be hot, and we take the tea out, the tea bags, and we just put the sugar in there at that time and stir it up. The last thing you can do as far as the sweetener is you can make a sugar syrup right now, but I'm not going to heat the stove up for that, because the whole point in making the sun tea is to conserve your fuel, your gas, or electricity, and not heat your kitchen as much, and it's just kind of a fun thing to do.
It's time to hone our hospitality skills. A good idea to prepare for guests is to set the table the day or night before they arrive.
Actually, we will sweeten it after it has brewed outside. Another thing you can do is at this point, you can add, if you want to, you don't have to, a sprig or two of, well, that's more than a sprig, that's a branch of my mint that I grew outside. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to, actually, I want it really minty. So I am going to add 2 big long stems of mint. Then I'm going to bruise it a minute. Just kind of bruise it. Mash on it. This is going to be really refreshing. Okay. And then we're just going to pour pure water from our Berkey water filter on top. We definitely love our Berkey water. If you're making a sugar syrup for this, you can go ahead on the stove and you can put 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water in your pan on the stove. Dissolve the sugar and then just pour that in here, and that is a sugar syrup. 2 parts sweetener, 2 parts sugar, 1 part water. That's your sugar syrup. A simple syrup is what it's called. And you could just pour that in here too, and you don't have to worry about whether or not your sugar is going to dissolve. And I'm just going to fill it up that far, and we can continue to add water later after we add our sweetener. That's it. Let's go set it outside. Takes about 3 to 5 hours. It's going to depend on the sun. It's going to depend on where it sits. But as I said, Pop always made moon tea, and it worked just fine. We're going to try something new today in addition to the old way, the old standard. All right, anytime we make tea, we make a gallon of tea. And like I said, we keep it in the fridge. We personally sweeten our tea with stevia. Actually, we use this Trim Healthy Mama brand, pure stevia, and this is what we use. And we use a teaspoon in a gallon of tea. Now, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but this is just what we use. This Trim Healthy Mama stevia. If you don't want to use real sugar, find another kind of natural sweetener. I actually have this stevia plant sitting by my sink, so I remember to water it because I haven't gotten to plant it yet. So you could also put some leaves of stevia. Can't get much more natural than leaves, right? In the South, they do call unsweetened tea dirty water. All right. Mr. Patient said there's no point if you're just going to drink dirty water. All right, so today we're going to make a total of a gallon. And typically, we would put it in our gallon jar. And I'll have all these recipes written down in either the description box or the first comment for you. In this jug, I'm going to try something, a regular way of making tea. And in this one, I'm going to try something different. And in all my born days, I've never heard of this until year or two, and it may have been around forever, but I've never heard of it, so I think it's newfangled, is to add baking soda in the tea to cut down, to kind of not balance, but to adjust the pH a little bit to make the tea smoother tasting. So we are going to try that, and I'm going to have Mr. Patient to taste test and let me know which one he thinks is better. So we'll go ahead and I'll mark which one is which. I'll put an S on the jar that we put the soda in here in a little bit. And honestly, I don't know how much water to tell you. If you need a measurement, just say 2 cups. But we just put some. In our house, some is a measurement. And I'm just going to put the water on the stove. The baking soda is going to be in this white one. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I have read on the internet. I don't know. Never heard of it before recently. And in this half gallon, I'm going to put 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. I do know soda balances out pH, but it's supposed to make the tea taste smoother. Real Southern sweet tea is 2 cups of sugar to a gallon. Now, you can get by with 1 cup of sugar. I made sweet tea for church people that came the other day, and I didn't want to frighten them, so I knew they weren't used to Southern sweet tea, so I made it with 1 cup of sugar. And they said that was fine, and they said they could probably have handled the 2 cups of sugar. This teacup is actually exactly a cup. Basically, you're making a thin sugar syrup by doing it this way, or a simple syrup. Kind of get that sugar dissolved. Now, while I'm whisking this, I'll tell you, we have had hundreds and hundreds of people in our home during our 32 years of marriage, and I'm thankful for that opportunity. And we have served a lot of beverages. We've served a lot of sweet tea. And so, you know what? Mr. Patient has learned, because he's usually in charge of the beverages when we have open houses and guest and hospitality events. He will make up what he calls a concentrate, which is this right here, and then he will put it in just a quart glass jar with a lid. And he will put, sometimes he has made 5 or 6 of these quarts, or what he calls a sweet tea concentrate, and he will just put them in the refrigerator, because we don't have, even though we've always had 2 refrigerators, there's not room to put several gallons of tea in the refrigerator to prepare for your company. So that way, when you need more tea, you just pour your concentrate and your water, or your ice and your water in your tea jug, and you are ready to serve it. Or you're ready to refrigerate it or put it in your cooler or wherever you need it. I'm a former caterer, and I will tell you that the rule of thumb for a gallon of tea, if you're serving it at a table, is 10 servings, 10 glasses in a gallon. So you can pretty much estimate if you're and that's just one serving, just your standard glass tea glass. 10 in a gallon. So if you're having 10 people and you think they're going to all drink tea in more than 1 glass, you're going to need at least 1 or more gallons of tea. Organic pure cane sugar is what I use. And we're just getting that up now. I'll get my tea bags ready. So again, we put 4 tea bags in a gallon. So since we're splitting it up, we will put 2 tea bags in each pot. Just take the tags off and I just drop them in there. Okay, I've got my boiling water, and I'm going to drop those down in there, and I'm going to kind of just make sure that they get down in there. And I'm going to turn that off. This one is a little bit slower to boil. I'm going to let this sit here, and some people say exactly 15 minutes. Look, y'all, I have been making this forever and a day, and just put it in there. For our purposes today, I'm going to put my timer on 20 minutes and we're going to come back and assess and finish this up. Our time is up on the on our 20 minutes. And I'm just going to be honest, I have never left it that short of a time. I always just leave it long enough to where I can pretty much put my hands in there, and it may still be warm, but it's not too hot that I can't take the tea bags out and put them in the compost. So that's kind of our rule of thumb. If you want to just leave it in there for 15 or 20 minutes, that's fine. But quite honestly, I'm going to leave it in there for maybe even 15 or 20 minutes longer. Well, we're back and it's been quite some time. But we are going to go ahead and mix this up now because I feel better about it now. So it's still warm, but I can put my hands in there, and if you don't want to do that, then use 2 spoons to squeeze them together or a tea squeezer. And I'm going to go right to the compost with these. Let's go with our non-soda concentrate first in here. Remember, we've added the sugar already. And we'll go with our soda concentrate over here. All you're doing at this point is just adding water. You might just take the spoon and give it a stir just to make sure your concentrate and your water's all mixed up well. Alright, so Mr. Patient's home. I've got 2 kinds of sweet tea. I just want you to try them.
Alright.
It's nothing strange. I mean, well, I don't know. You can decide if it's strange.
You're not going to try to poison me or something?
No, I'm not. I need you too badly. But I did a video today on sweet tea, Southern sweet tea, and how important has it been in your life?
It changed my life.
Oh my goodness. Okay. No,
I mean, that's
but
what
for real, that's
what I grew up on.
Right.
I mean, I grew up drinking sweet tea like at supper every night.
It's not cold yet.
Okay.
Just see if there's a difference. They're both sugar, not stevia. So.
Okay.
It's sweet tea, right?
Sweet tea.
Okay. All right. Well, there's supposed to be a difference, but I don't know. Okay.
Is it the amount of sugar?
Nope. It's 1 cup in each one.
The type of sugar?
Nope.
Then what's
So
different?
you don't taste the difference?
I don't taste the difference.
Okay, so that proves it. So here's the thing. When I was...
Good. I ain't had sugar tea in a long time.
I looked on the internet just for fun at sweet tea, which I know how to make it, but just for fun before I made the video. And there were so many that said, oh, secret ingredient, yeah. And a lot of people put 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda in their sweet tea, and it says it makes it smoother tasting. And just makes a world of difference.
What?
I never heard of that in my life. I know, that's exactly what I said. So our consensus is, and I didn't
So
take...
one of them had it and one didn't.
Right.
I couldn't taste the difference.
Okay. Well, I'm going to taste them too now. Sweet tea. Could use a little extra sugar. Okay. Tastes the same to me too. So, baking soda, I wouldn't worry about it.
Whatever, if you want to do it.
I wouldn't worry about it. So, this is our sweet tea. Now we are going to get our sun tea taken care of. Okay. I'm going to finish the video out here. It's after supper, neighbors mowing, and we're about to start a card game with the kids, which we love to do. And I thought I would just finish up talking about our tea outside, our sun tea. So it's been several hours. As you can see, like I said, and it's warm, so that's good. Or it's good and dark. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take the top off. I did just wash my hands. And I'm going to, oh, it smells delightful with that mint. I'm just going to pull out the tea bags. You could do this when you're camping. Actually, I'm probably going to leave the mint in there. It'll stay in there maybe. So I'm just going to set it right here on my little lid. All right. Gonna go ahead and add my 1/4 a teaspoon of stevia, and this is what we like to use now. If you want to add your sugar, you can do that. All right, dissolves well. And there is our sun tea. I'm going to put the mint back in. Let it infuse a little more, and this will go to the compost. My garden's in the back there. I love it. So, if you need something to read while you're sipping your tea outside, don't forget to sign up to subscribe to the Journal, the Heritage Ways community newspaper. It is so awesome. People are just raving, and it's not because of me. The community writes the paper. I just put it together and get it out to you. So if you want something to enjoy reading, just down home, low stress, de-stress material, no politics, no health concern, world health event stuff, just peaceful reading, recipes, puzzles, inspiration, jokes. Well, you just have to see the Journal to understand it. So there's a link down below to subscribe to the Journal for the year. So there is our tea, our favorite newspaper. Thanks for being here, y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Southern classic. I keep a spare pair of earrings down here in the kitchen in case I start videoing and I realize I didn't have any owned. Not that that makes any difference to you, but it does to me. Okay, here we go. This Louisiana happens to come from Louisiana. And, oh my goodness, I just now got that connection. All my life I didn't. Louisiana. Oh my stars! I feel so dumb. Okay, whew, let's do this again. Wow, that was weird. I'm about to sweat to death. Okay, and let's go it again. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. I'm nervous and anxious making this video, and I'll tell you why. When we have our live after party at the end of Project 54, I will tell you why I was nervous making this video. People have commented to me, and I'm honored. People have commented that they feel like my videos are just like I'm talking to one person, and that's what my Uncle Bill, who was a radio man for many years in Tennessee and Ohio and Iowa, that's what he told me. He said, just talk like you're talking to one person, and I love having this avenue to visit with y'all, but I am nervous making this video today. So, to find out all the behind the scenes and the trivia and the funny and the not so funny and the this happened and the that happened, all the behind the scenes stuff, make sure that you attend our after party the last Friday in August. But here's the kicker, it's only going to be open for the subscribers. It's going to be a subscriber only. You don't pay, there's no cost, but it's a subscriber only live with me, maybe Mr. Patient, talking about Project 54, the whole shebang. And I'll explain why I'm anxious making this video today.